Greetings everyone and welcome back to our series of ups and downs on Star Trek Discovery Season 4. After our little bit of a mid-season break there, where we got to enjoy some lovely animation with Star Trek Prodigy, have a look back at the ups and downs that we were able to do for that. We are back now to see what is going on with Michael, what is going on with Book, and what is going on with everybody's favourite character who finally gets quite a lot to do, Owosekun. Before we jump into our ups and downs for Star Trek Discovery, I just want to take a second to thank Surfshark so much for their sponsorship for this series. They have effectively saved this series from cancellation. Because they are so wonderful, they have given us a lovely code to pass on to yourself. If you sign up to Surfshark, you will get 4 free months and 83% off your purchase. If you go to surfshark.com/whatculture, that's a pretty good deal. Surfshark, ya bloody legends. Thank you so much. You know how it's going to work. We are going to go through all the things that we liked in the episode, give it an up, all the things that we didn't like, and give them a down. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You have actually seriously helped us even in the last couple of weeks. When I started really doing this push recently, we were at 175,000 subscribers. We are nearly at 180, and our target is 200 by summer. All you need to do is just click that subscribe button just there. We will be able to bring you all of these videos straight to you, notifications, smashing everything. You're all awesome. Now let's get to the video. I am Sean Ferrick for Trek Culture, and here are all of the ups and downs for Star Trek Discovery Season 4, Episode 8, All In. Tiny little recap after all of this time is that Book and Tarka have taken a spore drive, they have zipped it out of Federation headquarters, they are going to go and single-handedly destroy the DMA. Obviously, we'll get to that now in a moment. Not everyone's very happy, and when I mean not everyone, I mean President Rillick, and I love her. So the first up that I have for this episode is 2 questions she asks back to back, and they're so well delivered and so well timed. Did you know that this would happen? She asks this of Vance and Michael, and they both go, no. And she goes, Next question. How did you not know this would happen? That's what makes this an up, because she understands, perhaps better even than they do, the power of a personal emotional drive. What is always discussed when it comes to Star Trek Discovery is that it's the emotions on show in every single episode. And in a way, I felt that this was President Rillick going, we live in the most emotional Star Trek of them all. How did you not see this coming? And I really like that. I don't think it's a detraction from the episode or the plot at all. In fact, I think it makes quite a lot of sense that Book was so easily coerced into this. Coming back to that, about the coercion I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense that this would happen. It is in his character that he has got to act on his feelings. And what we've seen from Michael over the 4 seasons is her learning to temper those impulses and those feelings. So in a way, Book is like an early version of Michael herself. Now, while President Rillick didn't know early Michael, she certainly knew Michael's service record, and she certainly knew, what's on file about the captain. So yes, when she asks, how did you not see this coming? I think it is a very, very fair question. Definitely an up from me. The second up actually follows quite soon after this, and it's when Michael is sitting in her ready room and Vance walks in. There is somewhat of a strained conversation here, although first of all, hello, delighted to see Admiral Vance back again, but something of a strained relationship here because, quite frankly, regardless of how good Michael has proven herself to be, again, this is through no fault of her own, she's not responsible for Book's actions, but the arrival of the Discovery has brought some absolute headaches to poor Vance's life, but that's neither here nor there. He gives her an order to pursue Book. It's technically off the table, or under the table, sorry, I should say, and it gives her the authority to go after Book. There's talk at the end of the episode about exploiting loopholes. Vance saying that she's the only one who can go after him, it's exactly correct. I mean, think about it if, say, Detmer, for example, was the one to go after Book. No one would care. They don't have this relationship. This has to be Michael and Book. And Vance is smart enough to see that. By giving her the order, he gives her a legal out. That if the president wants to come down hard on anyone, it's going to come down on Vance. And yes, I really, really did appreciate that moment, because it could have been done with a kind of a wink and a nod, and I don't like that. He walked in, gives her the order, which is giving her his protection in terms of rank, that if anything was to go wrong, it comes back on him. That, to me, is good leadership. You know, something has to be done. We can't go about it the normal way. We can do it this way, and the book stops here. Over the course of the episode, of course, we get shots of Book talking with Tarka, and this is where we get the revelation that Tarka's like, we can totally do this, as long as we get some unobtainium. This amazing miracle weapon that Tarka has. Well, of course there's no power source, because that would be too handy and we need to slow the action down. So they have to go to Hazmazaris' Karma barge to get some unobtainium. Isolinium. Yes, it is most definitely a MacGuffin, just to make sure that we can put Book and Michael in the same room together, which actually happens much sooner than I was expecting. I thought there might be a couple of episodes of chasing, but no, that's not the case. But they get to this Karma barge, again, everything looking great, everything looking lovely, and we get, like, Haz's acting. I mean, he is playing to the back seats, and do you know what? There's initially I was kind of like, I see, Grumpy Quark is grumpy. But no, he grew on me over the course of the episode. Not enough for an up, sorry, but he grew on me over the course of the episode. And of course they get in and it becomes a sort of a high stakes and everything, and that's all fine. But what we then have is Burnham is not going to take Discovery. She's going to go on a shuttle that looks right out of the Orville. Just saying. I know there was this shuttle last season as well, but you're not getting Orville vibes off this thing. Herself and Owosakon, they go to this Karma barge to track down Book. Again, love it. Love to see Joanne getting anything to do. And she gets a lot to do in this episode, so that's brilliant. Some laughter, there's some, hey buddy. Again, there's no, are they here? Will they run into each other? It's pretty much immediate that Book and Burnham are together in this place. No one pulls a weapon on anyone. It's not full armed detail. So obviously, how's this one going to play out? Back aboard Discovery, we get my third up of the episode, which I'm calling Star Trek Jujurations. Culber is reeling from his inability to see this coming with Book. And look, the episode, it's a bit ballsy in how it takes a little bit of time out to address the perceived failure of the counselor here. If you think back to basically all of The Next Generation and Deanna Troy's role as ship's counselor, there isn't often a sense of, I should have seen this coming, or, this personal guilt in not being able to stop something. Not that I'm saying I want her to feel guilty, but the Next Generation, it doesn't expend a lot of time on that. Deep Space Nine, it takes the episode After Image with Ezri and Garrick. There is a bit of it. Again, it's not too much, but there is a bit of it. Then we started Discovery, which is Hugh Culber really struggles in his role as counselor as well as medical officer, because quite frankly, those are two full-time jobs. And he is in the quarters cleaning, like physically cleaning for what feels like the first time in Star Trek, trying to shoo away the .7, which is just, be nice to the .7. They can kill you in your sleep. Stamets walks in and they have quite a nice exchange. Stamets understands exactly not the responsibility to Book's mental health, but the idea that a perceived failure has this knock-on effect for others around them. There is, of course, a confirmation, well, we knew this, but there's confirmation that Gray is now on Trill, so Gray is definitely not aboard the ship anymore. So their found family is, physically, it's getting a little bit smaller. So the scene ends. It's a very simple scene. There's not an awful lot going on. It ends with them going to the holodeck for a walk amongst the flowers. The episode didn't need to include this, nor does it feel superfluous. So that is why it's an up for me. Aboard the Karma barge, we have one of the many, many great scenes of the episode, but I'm giving an up to Owosakon playing with that fighter in the ring, because it took me right until the end. I have to say, I was bought in by this. It took me until that third round to realize, oh, come on, she's been playing with him the whole time. She goes into the ring with this fighter, and he is I would climb him like a tree, because I think there would be enough handholds. But she initially slapped down to the mat, and we're kind of like, oh, okay, the hell's the point of that? She gets back up again, and again slapped down to the mat. And this time she gets her cheeks split open. And Slow Sean over here wasn't paying attention to the fact that, of course, the bet's going up every time. And their disagreement, Michael and Owosekun's disagreement, is very vocal. I can do this, Captain. No, I can do this. Like, John, they're obviously trying to drum the bet up. She's hustling them. So when it gets in for that third round, she absolutely floors him. And it's brilliant. And of course, it takes her 2 seconds, because the hard part for her was having to take the spill on the mat and not breaking this guy's nose. I loved it. Really, really, really well done. Really well executed. Thoroughly enjoyed that. This leads us to our conversation on the Karma barge between Book and Burnham, where Burnham finds out that no, Book was not forced to go with Tarka at gunpoint. He was not coerced. He was not manipulated. He chose to take the spore drive, to go and find this isolinium, and to use this weapon against the DMA. And she seems shocked to her core, and that's a down from me. Was it really that much of a shock? All of the signs were there. All of the signs were there. And that's why it stands out a bit for me, because we've seen Burnham be a better judge of character than this. And yes, I know that there are things coming at the end of the episode, but I did believe that here she was genuinely shocked that he chose to go with Tarka. And that, to me, feels forced. It feels a little bit forced. As we go into our poker game there at the end, and I know there's reveals that come out of this, I do feel that that was a little bit of a, really? Are we really, really shocked by this? So that is a down from the episode from me. An up for the episode, how to cheat at poker, Starfleet style. Well, I can tell you, not how Riker plays it. This is sort of a little rehash on how Burnham and Owosekun hustled the fighters. This is Burnham and Book hustling the other poker players. And yeah, it works. I like how Sonequa Martin-Green can switch between heavy, serious, and almost kind of batshit crazy, which is just gas. And she delivers it so well, and she's there putting everyone, sort of off ease. As the game goes on, I just enjoyed watching their interplay with each other. Now you have Burnham and Book and two complete randoms. It was very nice to see you. But what was the point of you being there other than slightly dragging out the game a little bit? That's all it really was. You could have put a red shirt on them, put it that way. We get to the end of the game, and of course there is the reveal that Book has the stronger hand. This comes in the same moment of like, no, Michael, I'm out of here. I'm taking the isolinium and I'm out of here. Soz. He reveals his hand, and then it's, oh, Jeannie Mac, oh, terribly bad, and away Book and Tarka go. Which leads me to a down. The end of the episode, you have the president giving Vance and Burnham a dressing down going, lads, I believe I told you not to do anything, but seeing as you did something, what did you do? Burnham says, I placed a tracker on the isolinium so that we can follow Book and Tarka to wherever they're going, and I'm going to stop you right there. And that's what my down is here. What was the point of tracking them? Vance tries to include a line that says they were outside Federation jurisdiction, they didn't have a weapon. Come on. Are you telling me that if Burnham really wanted to bring Book and Tarka in, she couldn't have done it with her little finger? We've just seen Owosekun take down someone roughly the size of Treebeard from the Lord of the Rings, and no, they couldn't possibly take down Book and Tarka? Massive down for me, because the crux of the episode seems to be the reveal that, oh, we're going to track them. Why? What is the point of tracking them? Bring them in. Get the spore drive back. This was convoluted and contrived. It doesn't work for me. It whacks of, we've got a couple more episodes left in the season. Got to drag it out. There's no reason whatsoever to let these two men go. And that was, come on now, folks. They could have done a better. They could have had Tarka pull a gun on there could have been anything. Now I realise the second Book picks up a weapon, that changes it. Right now, you could still label him misguided. Second he picks up a weapon, it's criminal. Tarka, don't care. I say don't care because I've no investment in him as a character. There is that tease of you will never understand how great his loss is, and I really hope there's a good payoff to that, and if there is, great, because I need more. Because right now Tarka is just the annoying prick. Presume there's more to come there. But yes, I did think that reveal, that Burnham knew she was going to lose the hand in poker, lost to Book was able to go away with the isolating and the tracker. What was the point of any of that? They could have brought them in there and we all know that Owasakun and Burnham are going to win any fight that happens there. You know what I mean? Last reveal of the episode is that the DMA is not a weapon, it's a mining tool by this race that are existing just outside the galactic barrier. This is a nice twist, this is cool, this is technology we haven't seen in Star Trek before. They are mining these systems of boronite. Again, seems to be, don't really know the damage we're causing. So that'll be interesting that when we do meet these aliens, is it going to be a case of, oh my god, oh, whoops, hoo-hoo, that's embarrassing. So, remains to be seen. We'll see where we get there. But for now, take a walk with me to Cetacean Observations. Now, God, it feels good to be back. In our Easter eggs today, we have Eisenberg class called out by name. That's important. We have then, fittingly, on the Karma barge, we have a Ferengi. We have Tarka picks up a Devore scanner, the Devore, of course, being from the episode Counterpoint in Star Trek Voyager. He said he couldn't pick up a Betazoid, obviously, in a Neezer cage. Neezer being Scotty's little friend from the Kelvin films. We have a Lurian, who now seem to be in like every episode of Star Trek. Nice to see it. We have a Tellarite, we have an Andorian. Now, anybody else go, ha-ha! When a changeling appeared, with some nice classic DS9 makeup on the face as well on the reveal, it shifts into a Tribble. I have to say, I don't love the effect. But young minds, fresh ideas. I'm just so used to seeing the DS9 changeling effect. So obviously, hey, look, here's a budget. Looks great. Tarka manages to stop the changeling with handheld tech. Straight away, I'm thinking, is this the same tech that Garak used in the Dias cast to stop Odo from changing? Obviously, all of that information would be well in the history books at this point. So, nice little Easter egg potentially reaching there, Sean. Look at the cards in that poker deck. First of all, we get, from Star Trek Beyond, we get the Joel Harlow design of alien. And the alien's name was Natalia. I don't have a name for the race of the alien. Her name was Natalia. She has those beautiful, that spiral effect at the back of her head. You'll notice her, of course, at the end of Star Trek Beyond, talking to Chekhov when he's saying about a little old woman in Russia who invented Scotch. She was played by Ashley Edner, who was the stepdaughter of Joel Harlow. The makeup in Star Trek Beyond was nominated for an Oscar and it lost to Suicide Squad. Second card, Cardassian King, and 3, we have an Arcadian Queen. Now the Arcadians were shown in Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. They were in the Federation Council during the trial crew. So you'll notice them with the hair that goes either side of the head and back. Really, really nice little deep cut there in Star Trek's history. That is everything for my list today. If you reckon I missed anything either from Cetacean Observations or just the episode as a whole, you let me know in those comments down below. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. As I say, we're putting a big massive push on subscribers because you are being so brilliant at hitting that subscribe button and we really do appreciate it. I have been Sean for Trek Culture. You can catch us over on Twitter at Trek Culture. You can catch myself at Sean Ferrick on Twitter as well. Until I see you again, you look after yourself, you look after your friends and family, and you live long and prosper. Thanks.